Coach TM here. Welcome. What's good? It's been a minute, but I had to get back in it, so I am back. This is not going to be your everyday average internet show. This is a crossover. It's sort of a mixture of a podcast, a TED Talk, or an infomercial. This is specially designed by me to make you more equipped and ready to leave the house and be that guy out there. Let's keep it real. Are your social skills a little behind? Wish you knew more about sports and the world in general? You come to the right place. When you hear people say terms like playa or big baller, are they never talking about you? My crossover is exactly what you need. I'm going to make you brand new in 22. Now pay attention and listen up, because I will put you up on game and make you cooler at the water cooler. Let's go. There was no sweat on my rep. I'm the streets voice out west. Here we go. Let's get into it. Like I said, this is going to be a crossover, something brand new. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the topics that you want to talk about. So, now that you've found this channel, now that you've found this information, what I want you to do is I want you to hit the subscribe button to make sure that you're always going to get the content. I want you to smash that like button, because that's what we do around here. And I want you to click on the little bell, because what the little bell is going to do is going to let you know every time I'm coming at you with some more info to put you up on game. So let's make sure we take care of that. This is week 1 of the show. Now, I know this is not the very first week of January, and we'll take care of all of that later on, but this is week 1 of the show. Coach TM coming at you live. So, like I said, this is going to make you cooler at the water cooler, so we're going to deal with all kinds of subjects. Put it down in the comments if there's something specific you want to talk about, and best believe, nothing is off limits. All right, here we go. First thing we're going to talk about new for 22 are the people that are no longer here. Got to start off the show with the all-time legend, John Madden. John Madden, a lot of the younger generation out there knows him for the video games. Us older G's know him for his days with the Raiders, his days in broadcasting. Man, true legend. Really changed the way we look at football from an entertainment aspect. So John Madden, no longer with us. Great NFL legend. Next is the lady who I didn't ever think was going to leave us, Betty White. Betty White was a couple days from being 100 years old. She was 99 and was just a great human being. Really contributed a lot to entertainment. And the last one we're going to talk about for today is my man Bob Saget, or you may remember him as Danny Tanner from back in the day, the original Full House. And yes, we did go by that house on a visit to San Francisco. It was a real house. But Danny Tanner, Bob Saget, great comedian, very funny guy, is no longer with us. Let's transition on. Next thing for you to talk about around the water cooler that will have people saying, man, this guy knows what he's talking about. College football. What's your thoughts? What's your opinions? I personally was surprised at the outcome. I did not think Georgia was going to take it to Alabama like that. I figured it would be a close game, like the whole basically the first 3 quarters was basically a 3-point game, starting the end of the third quarter, going into the fourth quarter, a game of 9-6. That was a surprise, but I did think it was going to be a close game. But then, man, Georgia and their leadership took control and ended up winning the game 33-18. Great college football. We've got to get college football more global. And I mean, we've got to get a Big Ten team to the championship game. And I know Ohio State has been there. We've got to get a Pac-12 team into the championship. Maybe with all the changes going on over at USC and the new coaching staff and Riley coming in, taking over, maybe that'll help and he'll get them there. We got to get a team out of the Big 12 into the big dance. We got to get a team like Cincinnati, a team like Louisville, a team like Central Florida. I can go on and on, but we've got to get some diversity in there. It cannot be SEC West versus SEC East year after year. Clemson was in there and represented out of the ACC, but man, we got to open this thing up. We got to get a Pac-12 team in there. We got to get a big team, Big Ten team back in there to really open up college football. Next up, let's talk some NFL playoffs. Now, I don't know what your thoughts are, but the number one seeds from the AFC and the NFC, the Tennessee Titans and the Green Bay Packers. Other than that, man, this field is wide open. Why don't you throw it down in the comments? Who do you feel has the edge in these matchups? We'll go AFC first. We have the Raiders and the Bengals. We have the Patriots and the Bills. We have the Steelers and the Chiefs. Who do you think has an edge in these games? And then over in the NFC, we have the Eagles, who kind of snuck into the playoffs against the Bucks, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Are they ready to repeat as champions? Time will tell. We have the 49ers and the Cowboys. This might be the best game out of all of them. Let's see who shows up. Let's see who's ready to play. And finally, we have the Cardinals and the Rams. Old division rivals. That's one of the things that I wish they could do that better. I know that there's seedings and there's records and on and on and on. I sure wish that conference rivals didn't have to play each other, especially in the first round. It's one thing if both of them get to the NFC Championship game and they got to play each other to go to the Super Bowl. That's all good. But I like to get away from that where conference rivals play each other in the first round. Just like what almost happened in the game, it almost was going to end up the Raiders having to play the Chiefs in the first round. I don't like that. I love that the Raiders are going out to play the Bengals, playing somebody else. You know, the Steelers are playing the Chiefs. That's all good. You know, but let's get away from this inter conference stuff in the first round if we can. You know, people's records are what they are. The seeds are what they are. But that's just a thought from Coach TM. Trying to help y'all out. Next up, let's switch over to the NBA. We're going to keep it brief this week because we're not even at the All-Star break yet. So there's a lot of basketball to be played. Let's just go over the top three from each conference. Western Conference, top three. The Suns, the Golden State Warriors, and the Memphis Grizzlies. That's right, you heard it here. This will make you cooler at the water cooler. If you go in there, yeah, what do you think about third place Memphis Grizzlies? Most people be like, oh, I didn't even know they were in the Western Conference. But yes, Ja Morant is for real. The young guns over there, Triple J, they're for real. Justin Jackson Jr., Triple J, you know. They're for real. And they're coming for you. And over in the East Conference, the Chicago Bulls in the top three. The New Jersey Nets, we know them and all the star power they have acquired. And the Miami Heat, they're getting back to their playoff ways. But Chicago, how many of you were surprised? I personally saw it coming. When you put together, and I'm going to include all four, not just the names. I'm going to include all four. When you put together Vucevic, when you put together Big Brother Lonzo Ball, when you put together DeMar DeRozan, and add those to Zach LaVine, I knew that was going to be clicking. There's not so many egos with that group. They're just out there to play, which I knew they would when they got there. And then you got Caruso coming off the bench. You got little man White from North Carolina coming off the bench. They've done some nice things over there in Chicago. So keep your eye on them in the NBA. Now moving over, the Australian Open. That's right. We're going to talk about everything. In your job, tennis may be huge, and this will make you cooler at the water cooler. Down in Melbourne, the Australian Open, it's the early rounds, and so we're not going to get into much detail yet on that, but just to let you know, that is on its way. More information about the Australian Open. Down in Melbourne, getting kicked off, people fighting in the early rounds and trying to advance. So that's that. So we're going to wrap up this show. Don't want it to be too long. Definitely wanted to give you good information that you can take to the job, you can take to the supermarket, to the butcher. Let him know that you are up on game. You know what's going on out there. So signing off for week number 1, Coach TM and my crossover. Hope it's been informational. Don't forget, I'm going to remind you one more time. Push the subscribe button, first of all. Go ahead, smash that like button that you like this content. And then go ahead and click on the bell so you can get your notifications. So the next time when we go over week number 2, I'm putting you up on game and letting you know what time it is. All right. Last time that I checked, it's time for me to get up out of here. Coach TM. Peace in. I just stole that one from my man Rodney Dixon. Peace in.